We can't give you everything here at VCT EMEA, but we can give you entertainment and fun. And that is, I feel like, summed up what we saw on Split there. We're just going to get straight into it. Did you ever think that you would watch Zipan win a 1v1 against Grabinho with a blast pack?
Technically, it was Sugetsu because he was the last one alive. Crazy. It was actually Zipan, but I did not expect that one.
No?
You saw my reaction live, so yeah, what the hell was this?
What about you, Ash?
It was insane. I mean, we did not expect it to go down that way. For Grabinho just to run straight into the blast pack, there was time left. He didn't have to rush all the way to that spike.
Yeah, but it was more fun that way.
It was. We're here for the entertainment.
Yeah.
That's why we wanted Koi to win.
They won the map anyway, because can you imagine if they didn't win the map because of that? That would have been sad.
This paranoia is so well. Like, the play from Grabinho is just so good, and the way the spacing here is definitely not there. And yeah, here it comes. He thinks he's dodging it. He's like, oh my god, I have to go and defuse. You know, because of the cosmic divide and everything, you lose a little bit of the timing in your head, and he ends up losing it. His reaction is not too bad, you know?
I
would have been
pissed. I wanted to see Zipan's reaction, because I feel like you have to laugh about it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think we did see some of those smiles and laughs on stage from the Navi side after that ended up happening. I think Angel had a really big smile on his face.
This is the thing, though. With Navi, they didn't win this map, but I felt like Kaquka, we saw the glimpses of the Navi that we know and love in the past, the ones that just willy-nilly change his comp all the time and give us some entertainment.
Funny enough, we're looking at the compositions, right? The number of different compositions that they've been giving us over the year. The comparison between what they gave us last year and this year. We haven't been seeing a Navi that is trying so much. This was also something that we saw from the beginning. And it was kind of curating the idea that we had of Navi in our head. But as you're saying, this year, this wasn't the case. Now they come in onto this split, and they give us the first Astra that we've seen this entirety of the stage 2 here in EMEA. But that brings us to the next problem. Yes, that is something that we saw in NAVI, but especially how difficult it is becoming for them to win, to start strong in the maps. I've been counting, you know? The numbers are not looking up for the pistols, even the bonuses, even converting those second ones. But right now, as it stands, after this map, in the first 6 rounds of every map, Navi are only winning 21%. They're barely surviving that first stage.
I mean, on that map, it came down to the fact that you had to go up against Shados. If we take a look at him in the AIM Labs warm-up, this is prime Gambit Shados we're seeing here. Ash, honestly, any opportunity to bring them up, I will. He, right off the bat on the map, he wasn't playing around.
No, he wasn't. We saw how, I feel like there is one clip where we saw how focused he was. Like, he was mean mugging that monitor.
He was the 1v1, I believe. Yeah. He finished and he was looking at the monitor. He was gonna literally go across it with his head.
Like, literally staring through his eyebrows there. But that's the energy that we also need from Koi. It's nice to see that they are so focused up. They're also smiling. They are still letting loose in that kind of regard. But Shados was absolutely insane here on Split.
If there's any time that we need to put him on Icebox as Reina, it's now. He had such a good start on Split. Name me one person that isn't a fan of Shados' Reina on Icebox. I dare you.
I am a fan. Are you a fan?
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Okay,
I
then
think everybody
I cannot name a single person.
Yeah, but on the other side though, how weird and wonderful can Navi bring us?
Here's the thing, you're talking about what Shados can do, and especially after that first map, everybody's thrilled to see what the player's going to do. But as we were saying, for Navi, they have not played this map since March of last year. This is a map that they've been dodging, that we have not seen it, but it can have a lot of potential. Are they going to go back to the double duelist? Are they going to play a duelist at all? Maybe some of the new ones, maybe some ISO, anything could happen. But Koi, remember, are the ones choosing to go here. They decided to swap from that double controller and just go into a more basic, just have your duelist, play a little bit vanilla, but with that introduction of the Gecko. But there could be even more surprises for us.
I think it does get scary in that kind of sense because of how strong Koi are on this map. But as we head into Agent Select here as well, I want to see Angel on that April.
Well, here we go, here we go. No changes on the side of Koi, but we have Zipan moving over for the Gecko. Here's Shao's finally back on the Soba. Oh, the world is healing.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, in this kind of situation, it makes a lot of sense. You have to get to why on earth would you not put him on the Viper? No changes on the side of Koi, them starting on the attack. It's going to be very interesting because because I think that this mix has become very, very popular. So I really want to see if NAVI, you know, has learned from all of the teams, and also if they have the mental resilience to go back into the game and start this one strong.
I have a lot of concerns here on the side of NAVI, though. Angel on that Cypher is not something that you see on Icebox. Cypher is not the pick that you expect. Typically, you'll be seeing the Killjoy coming out, and because it does lack that kind of control. There are so many lanes that you can sneak back past those trips through. So I do wonder how Angel looks to actually set up here.
Yeah, it's been a long, long time since we've seen something like this, especially on the Icebox for NAVI. But Mitch and Tom, if they do not win this map, they would be on a 10-map losing streak, and very unprecedented for a team like NAVI.
It absolutely is. I mean, we were so excited once we got Artist that the prodigal son came back to us from a region we shall not name. But it hasn't really hit the way it used to, Tom. It's not like back in the old days. At least not now. 10 in a row? No. I remember a time where seeing them lose a map was, you'd mark your calendars, but now we're waiting for that series victory, and it's getting even further away here.
They're all right in split one.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Right, but
4-1,
lose this,
it's
it's 10 maps in a row, like Sue said.
Yeah, that's true. That's
not the team I knew.
Well, we'll see what they've got for us here. Yeah, Angel does like to throw in a Cypher every once in a while. We saw him do it on the Bind that they played a while ago, and it was pretty good. Like, he definitely proved that he can play it. I do agree, though. Playing on this map in particular, not the most common. Already a double up, and, well, that has not gone to plan. 2 players waiting, 2 players dead.
With one further back, ready to swing on contact. Nothing goes their way. The side of NAVI, that's a pretty poor start to the pistol. And remember, this is Koi's map pick, one that they come in very much prepared for. And as we heard from us earlier, from the desk even earlier on, and more recently, NAVI, it's not their bread and butter map. This is a big ask, a big task. Starting it out with a pistol loss would not be ideal, but it's Artist and Sugetsu that have to try to recover on this round on the losses they've already sustained, and already the time seems to be a big enough factor, and that's without accounting for Camo. 4 kills to kick this one off, and well, that's almost what he got in the first half of the last map. Yeah,
and Luthia flawless as well, so keeping it nice and clean. And it was mentioned on the desk, I think, what was it, Bear said it was 21% or 23%. So it was bad, the amount of rounds that they win in the first 6 for NAVI. So losing that pistol's not going to help, especially when you have a double stack. They're literally waiting for this peak to come in from Camo, and he still manages to win all of the fights and ends up being the man closing out the round. Halfway to a Blade Storm already. And for the defensive side here, well, there's next to nothing. A shorty for Artist, Angel with a Sheriff, and the rest is pistols. Classics.
And what you were saying earlier, Tom, as well, what I said on the desk about Cypher, it's not even that I'll agree that people don't typically pick him up here. I don't really like Cypher on this map. Not as much as I certainly like Killjoy, but there are some cool combos. Like the camera in this exact laneway you see them in now. You use that camera around pipes to then have Xiao use a Hunter's Fury later on. That is very powerful for sectioning players and getting free damage, free kills. This round, as we said, we don't expect very much of the side of NAVI. They have pistols for the most part, and the first 2 kills have been very clean. Barely a lick of damage done to the side of Koi, and the plant is already secured. Post-plant setup is good with lots of players up top ready to fight on range. Well, I will say Shadow is taking a risk, but it doesn't seem like it will be punished. With only 1 player lost, that's a pretty successful round. Will Grabinho get a weapon out of this? I don't think so, no.
Yeah.
Oh, he did, sorry. Yeah, pardon me.
Yeah, managed to retrieve the remaining guns, so they're going to come into this one with 4 rifles and, well, actually no, 5, yeah. Grabinho will just buy up the last, so it's going to be a pretty hefty purchase. Camo as well is just 3 away now from getting himself the Blaze. And of course, not even getting any kills, so you might think, oh, well, it's not the biggest of deals, but even those few extra credits can go into utility, extra shields for that defensive side. This is, though, again, where you have to look at NAVI and say, okay, is this going to be another blitz start where things just go horrifically wrong in those early rounds and Koi are able to build up such a huge lead? You think about that last map, how close it became. Breaking back early could be very important for NAVI's survival.
This is the round where we want to see those signs of life. Towards the B site where the pressure will come in. Grabinho is fairly locked out by this wall. Spams are the best he can hope for. Perhaps seeing the player up top, he's caught just the tip of their head, but the shots won't land. And the plant in, the post-plant setup for Koi. And the damage done is not great. I mean, Shadow is a little bit low. Well, he's quite low. He's very low. And his utility's gone. But outside of that, they're sailing pretty at the moment. Camo's going very aggressive. No dash online. If he had it, I'd understand this, but this is very aggressive and it will not pay off.
Oh, Zipan's just gone ham. Finding 3 players already. Time starting to tick. The shot dart doesn't connect, but they've already got Gecko on it. That's going to be denied. Now it has to be a player sticking it again. It's going to be a 1 versus X situation, and unlike last time, it is going to go the way of Na'Vi. 3 players surviving, already getting their first round onto the board much quicker than that first map. And more so just seeing some life in Zipan. I think that he's still one of those players that, even though he's great at arrays, even though he's great at sort of playing most agents, I feel like you give him slightly more aggressive initiators like this or a KO, and he can take over matches.
Yeah. Just looking at the replay there as well for Koi, it feels like they put themselves in a position where it was get the kills now or the round is done. There was no escape, there was no fallback, there was no plan B. If those shots don't land, which they didn't, round was gone. Those aren't great ones to risk it, but sometimes you got to play confident. This time it didn't work out. With the weaker weapons, I can understand it. Now, rifles in hand, Vandals across the board, favored in some fights even, with Xiao having a weakness, but Angel doesn't even need the Odin. He's on the wall bangs into Grabinho. That is gorgeous.
That's something you only fall for once.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
That is not happening again. Grabinho's luck today is not the best. Well, with a drone coming in, okay, this is clean from Na'Vi. Every fight going their way. Starzo, last man standing. Hardest up against him, and he's not going to lose that fight. It's going to be an Andaluthia flawless for the second round for Na'Vi, and wow, that is a very different look for what we've seen so far this series.
No, they've got some fight left in them yet, and you know that Angel's delighted. Not just catching the player with their back turned in 2, but it's that wall bang. The fact that Trap caught him, and he was able to sew. Here it is. Look at that. It's beautiful. And
it's funny as well, you don't think of that side of the wall. Like, you look at the tube and you go, very wall bangable. That side of it, I'd go, maybe I'll tickle him up a little bit. But
yeah. Nice! Well, Angel's been studying his wall bangs. You'll love to see it. I think Xiao and Zipan were shaking hands. It was an interesting.
It was cute.
Zoom in on it.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
This is just brutal though. All right. A trade back. Early kills going their way. Now Xiao has to try and get out of there. He's gonna take the fight versus Shados, but wins it. Shock dart. See you later. Took that one right out of Leo's playbook, and it leaves Shadow. Well, fairly well known where he's currently standing, so gets already locking him in from behind. I don't know if he'd expect somebody to be this far forward. Oh.
Seems like the timing has been missed by Sagetsu, but Shadow's not exactly looking the right way, and now he's been seen. It should be an execution from the Viper up top on Belton. Shadow's about, it's up the legs, visible for a moment, but he walked down the ramp. That gave him away. Unfortunate for him. 3-2 we go. And the Navi side looking, like you said, a lot better. They found themselves in a bit of a rhythm early on, able to disrupt some of these rounds out of Koi. I was going to say, somehow was the trap involved? No, he's just spraying him straight through the orb. Fair enough.
Where you are.
I think the thing that'll be interesting to me is how we're going to see the variation in Cypher setups. Because I think, again, you just keep putting stuff down in mid. I guess in the past, you'd obviously have a lot of teams running Sova, so shock darts would just eliminate that immediately. It's less common nowadays, so I guess he can just get away with that. And it is going to be the same trips. We're putting them down in the early round, and with no presence that can really go as a surprise, they're going to stack up this A site very quick.
Yeah, I like the trap that he's putting in mid that is basically using their Viper Orb. Once that goes up, you're in a pretty good position. They can't see exactly where either end of the trap is going, and often there's not even a player watching it, so it's just free control for the side of Navi. They don't need to overcommit to holding it.
He has control over the whole map. He also has a cam that's just sat outside on B. So that's basically just means he can just keep checking that every once in a while. They can just gamble their rotation super early and if they want to play it as a retake. I think for Koi though, there is a much higher chance of them going towards this A side because of the ults they have. Like you have a lockdown in play, you're likely going to use that in the same position as every single round. You also have yourselves that Thrash. Come on, here we go. This is the expectation. Look at where the players are.
Yeah, and they're not likely to move too far, just outside of the radius of that lockdown. Hold on, why is the spike still A? Ult used towards B, knife used towards B. This is working. This is working. I mean, they've sold a double fake. It looked like it was an A fake. Now it looks like it's the B site taken. Soon they're going to realize that they've got the read wrong. They might even make it very close to the B site before realizing they don't hear the spike ticking. There it is, planted now, and they've realized, but too little, too late. Already acquiring the plant, Hunter's Fury used to no avail, and now a huge advantage for Koi to play with. Post-plant Thrash, Blade Storm on Camo, and look at the spot Camo's in. No dash is the only downside, and the Thrash is on its way. Nice shot, but only the one.
That will at least slow Sugetsu down a little bit. I don't know, that might have actually caught Zipan as well. Both players moving at least a little bit slow. Even still though, man advantage still sticks, but that time is ticking. Somebody, more importantly, Zipan needs to get Wingman on that. Gorbinho just has to peek and deny, and in fact, it's already going to go down. Round over, there's no time, and Gorbinho's even going to hit the shot to the end. They might go down to the spike. They have to get sprinting out of there, and in fact, Sugetsu goes as well. A great round from Koi. I don't know who was the one who thought that up, because it's incredibly niche as well.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about using two ultimates in tandem at different times. A very unique scenario, but one that was perfect.
And it is an expensive round, but at the same time...
Who put that in the replay?
At the same time, you've got a Hunter's Fury used, Thrash used by your enemy. That's what got Shadow to use his Thrash as well, just to delay the retake of it and the second wind that would have come out of Thrash. Really, really gorgeous play, and I just think the idea to you use the KO knife as well, it tells them no matter where they are, oh look, that ability's being used on the other side. Camo's opened this up onto Artist. The Blade Storm now finally popped. They all have rifles to work with. It's the fact that he can updraft and take those duels that makes him favor this. Did his way over back yellow. This should be it. That Blade Storm, the nade, every piece of utility going towards Angel. Doesn't stand a chance.
Ooh, okay, well they go for the plant and that's going to be 1-for-1, but it leaves Xiao in a tough spot. First kill goes his way. That's the drone. That will give him information on both players. The second one, a little bit further back. He's waiting to see if Shados makes a mistake. They want to try and take this as a double fight, and Xiao is doing his damnedest to try and isolate this one. A dart to try and get somebody to turn away, and that's exactly what it does, but Kama doesn't miss the shot anyway. It's going to be another round on the board for Koi. Lead taken once again, and the economy, although still somewhat workable, it's on the brink now for NAVI.
Yeah, now it's getting a bit dangerous again after using up so many ultimates. Ult Decon's not going to go their way, and rifles sure acquired here, but that might not be possible for the next. Trouble's brewing for this defensive side, and
let's go, guys.
We're seeing Koi again hit their stride. It is a neck-and-neck fight, but the reality, that's a long trip. My goodness. The reality is, from what we've seen over on that last map, NAVI need all the rounds they can get. I can't give the edge to Koi. What an injection of rounds this would be. In a lot of trouble. That flash has destroyed Artis, and the dash up from Camo. It wasn't even no updraft, no dash. That was just him running up and going up the rope. Unfortunate stuff for Artis, and, well, overwhelmed. They've lost control of that part of the map, no information, and a 5 versus 4 in the back of it.
Yeah, Artis, after having a pretty decent game of Split, not off to the best of starts here, and again, context, Koi lose this game, they're out. That's it. No playoffs, no opportunity this year. For NAVI, it wouldn't be over. There'd still be opportunities, but it would be a pretty horrific spot from losing, what, 10 maps in a row?
Here.
Not winning a game or a map in Split 2. They're under pressure.
Huge flash, 3 players spotted by it, blinded up for a moment, and as they get their vision back, there's a lot less players here to defend. NAVI are left to just Sugetsu, and with damage done, Starzo's healing up quite a bit of it, the decay now fading, but he's still quite low. Gorbinho and Shanos is a different story. Spike in the open, they have to cross to it, and Starzo even hits the shot. 45 HP, but one would have been enough. That's another round on the board for Koi, and as we said, that devastating loss for the side of NAVI. I love this early fight. Like I said, he just goes straight up there. Didn't even end up touching the rope in the end. Nice little drift in, and it's free utility. It was a KO knife to confirm someone's there. It was a Gecko flash. They get those back, and then they use them again for the next execute, and both combine perfectly to give them those advantages in the fights.
Right there.
That 3K from Starzo was nuts. That was just sheer rope play. Still, there is actually going to be a buy here. It's not the greatest. A Bulldog in the mix as well. With a Viper's Pit and Hunter's Fury available, NAVI are going to use what they have to try and bring this deficit back. They had a decent streak of rounds, but that incredible ult round from Koi seemingly put the wind back in their sails. For now, at least, though, with Viper's Pit on the A side, it does seem like a B lane, which is where you've got Angel and Shout. They'll have all the information in the world, and I imagine the second that trip is broken, that's when the dart will be considered.
Standing ahead.
There's the dart fired up and over. They're hiding from it. I mean, I think Angel's close enough to have heard that cloudburst, but that's even not that much information. A single player pushed up won't tell you that much. Maybe still stick with 2 players towards the B site. That Viper's Pit keeping a lot of control on the A site, but it looks like Koi have the idea to go towards
30
it.
seconds left.
Gonna have to think, what do they have to fight through this pit? Even going up on the rope, it's not a good option. Not with the way this pit is in play. Not with the space that's given Grabinho. He's got to be careful. Zipan's watching this the whole time. The timing, unfortunate to say the least, but Shadow, well, he's gone down, and inside that pit, Hunter's Fury's going to do quite a lot of damage to you.
Seconds left.
Oh, even still, it's getting shaky for Zugetsu. He's going to get dropped. They're holding on to that flank, but the plant will be going down. Mosh is going to try and catch, but it won't.
Spike planted.
Shouldn't be able to do anything. Turns it into a 3v3 scenario. Still a spot that Koi can win this one from. Already revealed. A nice shot at least onto Shados, but with Starzo still aggressive, it's someone that needs to be cleared. The peak, it was an opportunity for Kama, but the shot's not quite being landed, and a drop down from Angel leaves it onto one man. Another attempted clutch, but this one won't be happening. A much closer game with Na'Vi again bringing it down to just 1.
Yeah, but they're hot on their heels. That's it. The 1 round gap now, much more manageable for this side. And we saw from Koi, there's a lot of trouble in going through this ultimate. It's not favored by a lot of teams, and sometimes if you have a Thrash or something like that, a Dog, if you're running a Sky, for example, just even the last map we mentioned, Yoru, his ultimate, to go through, to find out where that player is and where the safe space is to pass through. And the problem is the second that they're seeing Hunter's Fury activated, it's a free kill. If you're already walking through that pit, there's no way you're going to survive getting hit by that. And then even if you start trying to dodge it, make noise, Viper's on you in a heartbeat. 4 rounds for NAVI. Good defensive side so far. Building up the rounds bit by bit, keeping it close. It's a better look. They want that lead. They're hungry for it. Great flash. Catches a lot of players and pulls the rest into the open. Shadow, 1 versus 2. That's 3 kills in a row. This is a 1v5. Ace clutch needed, and now not only possible, not only feasible, it could even be probable if he gets this kill on the Shadow. Oh, he's lit him down to 23. They have to be so careful. He even has Thrash online and Dizzy back to work with as well. This could be a disaster if Na'Vi let this one slip.
Oh, if they team up, he could catch them both. If they don't, he can isolate the battles. It comes down to this kill. He's already going to take down 1, and now the 1 versus 1. He's just going to try and defuse it, and across the line from Xiao. And they again win a round on the slimmest of margins. And while Shadow almost pulled off one of the greatest clutches of all time, but Xiao just had balls of steel.
1 versus 5, and he gets the ace. That's just ridiculous. From this point, there should have been no recovery. Absolutely none. And sure, the first 2 were already spraying his teammates. Isolating the 3rd, beautiful reaction onto Artis. And here, oh man. Again, it's a fraction of a second, but that makes all the difference. Seems to be the only thing that can separate these teams at times. 5-5, neck and neck. Let's see if one can take the lead before the half is over. Lots of ultimates in play for this round.
Yeah, the economy as well for NAVI is not in the best spots, but those ultimates might just pad the gap. 1-for-1 trade, that's a Guardian loss, but not really the end of the world. The bigger thing is a post plant.
No pit?
Yeah, it's not going to be utilized. Maybe realizing that these weaker weapons are available, but no, it's just going to be used from a higher point, spread across the spike. Now this is where Thrash could play a pretty big role in this one. But with this many players, it's definitely not going to be easy.
Oh, it's not going to be easy now. Good luck with your Thrash. Starzo pops the ult, cancels the abilities. Snakebite denies any defuse, and now they've got time. They just run down this clock, use the bodies to their advantage. Flash on the back is perfect. Back into the pit, they'll fight and win them. Even trading them out at this point is all they need. Keep that clock running down. 6-5. Koi, they could have the lead still as we swap over sides. They may need it. Navi moving to the attack, but again, on this map, I just don't know what to expect out of this squad.
Yeah, I think the more damning factor is the fact that Artis is having a nightmare. Like, you talk about
he has one kill.
Almost ace in the last round. I didn't want to be overly critical, but him peaking as that third player was a risk. Yeah. A confidence peak, and confidence was not given. He still won a 9. He's someone I said in the last map was shining, even when they lost. But they're going to need him in that second half particularly. And well, the buy in this round for Navi kind of stinks. Looks like Angel is going to try and put this one on himself, getting far more aggressive than what we've seen in prior rounds.
Yeah, I hadn't even noticed. I mean, I know we haven't got to talk about Artis a lot in terms of winning fights, but 1 kill is tough. Camo, on the other hand, has been very impressive. 12-8 at the moment. Tip of the spear, and it's found its mark almost every time. Blade Storm activated now. Looking for a punish on Xiao as he peeks up top. He could have it. Back to head was spotted, but Angels is the one that ultimately finds the 9, swinging his way up for more, and he's got it! A 4th kill for Camo, lining him up and knocking him down! That's all 5 for the ace! It's 7-5 at the half!
We've been treated to some nasty rounds. 2 aces in what, like 3 rounds, even though one of them went the other way. Shadow's not quite rewarded with that number at the top of the board, but Camo's definitely will be. We gave him the critique of the last map, even though they won it.
The week.
There you go, Sue. I'm sorry, it's already been decided.
Yep.
Player of the week has been called out by Starzo. 16-8 for Camo. Their survival hinges on winning this series. Obviously, the cleaner the better as well. A 2-0 would help them a lot. Maybe up that percentage by a 0.2 or something. That's not up for me. I don't do those numbers. Pistol though for Navi. We saw them attempt and almost succeed in a comeback on the last map from a much worse position. A pistol here could make all the difference.
Oh, here we go. Swarm grenade used to slow them down slightly. Trap going to be put into play, and it's hard to remove unless you get up close, and that's exactly what they want. Bait you into a closer fight, give the opportunity away to Angel. Even taking the trap back, reposition it. It wasn't where he wanted it to be. Now it's covered. The only way through is to break it. They've got their back. They've got little guy going through to plant this spike. Boy, looking for somewhere to fight from. The problem is the fact that these attackers can come out of kitchen from any angle. There could be a late play up through mid that they've got to keep Killjoy close to keep that online, and flank is secured the entire time by this camera for Navi. I think the attackers are in a great spot, but they need to take a fight soon before they're crunched on.
Yeah, that's the problem. The other angle from Grabinho has been held for a long time. Sugetsu wins the first. Trades though, almost immediate. Starzo tag low. Shadow is already going to be throwing out that utility. There needs to be something here for Navi, otherwise they're already going to be on that defusal, already ticking down as they look to just try and stick it all the way. The spams are not landing and they're just going to defuse in front of Xiao. Again, that pistol round is going to go the way of Koi. They've won all of them. And well, for Navi, again, they're going to have to fight from a deficit.
Looking at a potential 10th map loss in a row for this squad. Team I think we all were very excited to see reunite. this. Let's go! Artist back, replacing a pretty good player, but with another pretty good one. But what we've seen here on Icebox so far, it hasn't been great. He is struggling to win any of these duels. And now on the attack side, like you said, Tom, the pressure in these next rounds is going to be on him. First man to take a lot of these fights, to find the space, and especially up against a Jet like this, you're going to need to do a lot more than what we've seen thus far. Camo is on fire. His ace spurred him on. Now with a Guardian in hand, he's locking down this angle. His team, well, they're about to be put in a pretty rough spot. Mosh Pit isolates some, flash up top. Nobody peeking though. Koi are playing this pretty disciplined. They don't want to give away fights where Navi even have a chance of swinging things in their favor. Until now.
Zepan wins one, Shadows tag low. Would still take a pretty huge showing from the remaining two, but again, any cost would have value. Spike was dropped a long way away though, so it's something that Artist has had to go and retrieve. And it's whether or not, yeah, it looks like he's going to continue to go back towards this A side, but ultimately, Xiao has only been able to hold on to one of the angles. I think the second he taps this, the likelihood is that Xiao's going to get swarmed.
In fact, they give them a bit more space. Again, impressed by the discipline on the side of Koi now moving together, and the trade is found. Camo dropped though. 22 HP on Artist, so eventually full. Perhaps a confidence building round for him, finally connecting some of those shots. It will be 9-5 with a comeback needed for the attacking side, but we've seen that plenty of times in the past. Let's hope for their sake they've got it in them here on Icebox.
Yeah, oh, it really is bleak. Expectations high. The delivery not been there, and Koi, I want to give them credit. Coming into this second split, even though it was bleak for them, it was the opposite scenario for what we've seen from NAVI. We've seen improvements, serious improvements. I think Camo's still looking lights out. Shadows in that first map was truly unbelievable. And I think the comfort of some of these younger players, Grabinho in particular, has definitely been shown. For NAVI, if something doesn't change here, we could be seeing some of the last maps of this team. Like, NAVI are not the sort of organization that are just going to let this sit. If this team doesn't perform, doesn't make it to elite, maybe even champions. That start, though, from Sugetsu is at least something, but an immediate response.
Well, little guy's not planting either, so delayed further on this attack. Rotations are underway from Koi. Haven't really got anything to deny. So he's buying some extra time. Now if this goes poorly for Navi, who knows? Maybe CNET's getting another call up.
I don't think they're going to let him go.
They might not. Well, Navi not letting this round go without a fight. Already able to trade it out even with the time running down. Position from Angel up close. Further away is Xiao up on the belt. And here comes the recon. Landing behind that smoke. Oh, it's not. It's actually up top. So it doesn't reveal anything for them. Doesn't give the chance to strike and open combat with Camo. Not a fight most people will want to take. That kill, though, might just lock in the round win. And with Angel's wallbang, it most certainly is determined. Navi, 3 behind now.
Yeah, a big round for them to win, but also a bonus for Koi. There was a piece or two missing in the middle of that, and now they get straight back in with the operator. One off Bladestorm, one off Thrash. Sure, Zipan has his online, but there's still a serious opportunity that this is just a one and done. And as we've said, these early halves, it's always ended with Navi having to fight back because they just don't start strong. And I think for Camo, currently 20 and 11, having that operator in play, I wouldn't be surprised if he's a difference maker.
Yeah, he has been in so many of these rounds. It was Shados in the last map.
There's my buddy.
Now it's Camo, and these players, young and old, stepping up, carry that mantle for the side of Koi. Their defense has been pushed back. Thrash in play. From this point, post plant is everything. They can't overpeak. They can't give the opportunities away to this operator. The nade through to try to force them into the open. It has worked. It's brought one man out, but the spams are good. They're great, in fact. Artist even picking up another with the wall banks. The defuse was underway, but he's denied it just in time. Only one player caught. Plenty of them here to swing. Why are they not swinging? was already being diffused around the back. They knew it was possible, but they're too slow to react to filter back out of the angle. That is a disaster. A pause needed. Surely a pause needed after that one.
There's so many rounds where things like this seem to just happen.
Look at the plant. The plant is terrible.
The plant, yeah, in a position where you can get it from around the side, but that was even seen. That was spotted by Zipan. He kills Gravino, but no one else on the team reacts to it.
They didn't bounce the shock dart either, Tom. It just went straight into the box on yellow instead of bouncing. If it bounced, it might have gotten him. It might have actually gotten him with a right click on that arrow. And then, look, we're not going to point and say, yep, shout, that's your fault, because Kaquka will come up and shout at me. So I'm going to say that's everybody's fault, because, again, I understand Thrash comes in, you fall back. It's used by Koi to push these players out of position. At the same time, absolutely insane that so much space is conceded, and maybe we can even point to as well, like I said, the plant. Zipan put Wingman out, and it is an unfortunate reality that you take a step forward, you look slightly too high on that Wingman, and you right click, my guy is planting it there, he's giving them a chance. Sometimes you got to do it yourself. Or just take a second to line it up.
It's another round that's not a great look, and I'm sure Koi will take that all day long. It wasn't a scenario in, what was it, a 4v2 that they probably should have been coming out with a victory, but we've seen plenty of rounds for either side that you could probably testament to the same thing. For them now, okay, money's a little bit tight, but you're going to have Camo coming in with a Blade Storm, saving some extra credits, and then the rest of the team still with rifles. For NAVI, now an extra round behind in a series that has already not gone great. Their map choice going in their opponent's favor. Seems like, at least for now, they're putting that pressure onto Grabinho. He hasn't been having the best of times so far in this map, so you can understand it, but more of just a ruse being sold and slowly making their way back towards the A site.
Well, if there was a round to put your all into, this is it for Navi before Koi really run away with things. Economy still not off the charts for the defenders. They've taken a lot of losses in some of these rounds. It's not over just yet, but a chance for Koi to run away with things. There's Fury online for Xiao. Used already, very early in fact. And the fight up on the belt! It's almost doubled up for Camo! There it is! His second lands! And now that refreshes the blades. He's back and ready to fight. Not in fighting health, unfortunately, down to 45 HP. But you know what? A little bit of his health for 2 kills, Zipan and Artis. I'll take that trade. He'll take that trade, and he wants more. He's hungry with the 3rd kill locked in. They finally traded out Camo. Now, it's only the rest of the team to deal with, and that is not an easy task, as we're seeing 11-6.
This is looking over. Koi are extending their lead further and further. Camo is looking more and more at that jet diff. 23 kills on one side, 4 on the other. Sure, you got the Blade Storm for Artis in this round, but I don't know if it's going to make a difference at this stage. And even then, you just look at the supportive utility. The double flashes. The Angel doesn't even know where he is. He's lost at that point. And then it's easy pickings for the rest of the team just to sit passive. 5 rounds in the lead.
Don't have money, right?
A chance for another victory for the side of Koi. A team that, as said, it's been a resurgence. It's been an upswing in their performances. Close game versus Foot, sure, a loss to Mates, which I think, wow, 13-11, 13-11. That's unfortunate. And then a 2-0 versus GX. I might be about to add a 2-0 versus Navi to that list.
Navi 0-2 to Koi. I don't think that's something they would have imagined as a possibility coming into this stage. Koi, you have to applaud them. They've made a big turnaround. They've looked a lot better this last week or two. Finally getting the runway they needed to hit their stride. For Navi, they've ran out of runway. This is it. Time to put their foot down. Sneaky position from Artis, and he gets one. He's even up to double. This is beautiful. Finally seeing him activated, and just in the nick of time. 2 versus 3. The swing good from Shadow. His 3rd kill of the round, and already the defuse is underway. This time he's off it, swinging wide, isolating a duel, and going back in, dragging Sagetsu to the open. It's the full stick, and it's a shot from Grabinho. Landed in the blink of an eye. 12 to 6, a Red Bull clutch, and another ridiculous and painful loss for the side of NAVI.
It's just happening again and again. Every single time. A big play from Shadow here, just a swing to take down Artis, and even while he's revealed, they know exactly where he is. He's pinged on both players.
Oh, and he's waving.
Yeah, Shados is waving them goodbye. I think he knows this one is over. 3 rounds in a row, 6 needed for NAVI. If this was last split, we'd be talking about maybe some belief, maybe some hope, but we're long past that, long gone in that spot for NAVI. Camo, nice flash, and didn't even catch, it doesn't matter, he still lands the shot.
Show and show how it's done. Big game for Camo. What a time to step up as well. As we said, if Koi lost, their tournament life was gone. But my God, they've come in with some fight to them. That was interesting from Camo. An attempt to jump up top, and although it fails, the trades are quickly found. Sagetsu 1v4. He's dodged the Thrash at least, but he has to go back towards it because that's where the spike is. Mid held by Shados, push up as well. Already Starzo on top. I mean, at what point do we call time of death? I'm gonna keep hitting this with the defibrillator that is Sagetsu. See if they can have some semblance of hope to drag out of this round. They'd still need 5 in a row. All odds stacked against them. And in the end, okay, gets the 1, but that's it. 13 to 6. An unbelievable display from the side of Koi, a team most people would have counted out, but now it's not time to count them out yet. This could have been the series that locked them out. Instead, they're still in with a chance.
Yeah, there's still hope for Koi, and while for NAVI it seems to be the opposite, that hope is slowly dwindling. From 4-1, they are now sat at a negative win rate, 4 and 5. Things have slipped further and further, and with Koi seemingly getting better as the weeks go by. I said it was a rough loss to Mates last week. They beat GX, they were close versus Foot. They seem to be a team that is just getting tougher and tougher. Unfortunately, it's still going to be very difficult for them to qualify, but I think a lot of the players are making a showcase for themselves.
I have to say, regardless of which team you came in to this day supporting, you have to say that was some of the most interesting VALORANT, some incredible rounds, down to split seconds that defined so many. The man with his arms up, catching some aces as well, some flashy plays, and it's great to see Koi hit their stride, find that recovery late in stage 2, but not too late.
Yeah, I think the fun thing as well is across these 2 maps, you've seen everybody highlighted. Like we talk about Camo, but Shadow ended that 19 and 10 versus his old team. I'm sure he's going to be very happy with the stats he's put up there. I'm pretty sure the reason he ended up leaving was because of firepower. Well, second on the board above every single NAVI player, so I don't think they can talk too much trash in that one. And then you're talking about Shadow, seeing him come back to form in that last map. Impressive. Starzo with some really high impact rounds, especially when it came to Icebox. This team is finding their stride. It's frustrating the timing of it, but as said, we saw miracles happen with Liquid when it came to Split 1 making it to playoffs. Maybe Koi can pull one off that's even better.
I love that, the little redemption arc for Shadow as well. It's got you can see a little spark in his eye during some of those moments. We flick to the cam after big clutches, and wow, what an incredible game this was. You know what, speaking about Shadow and that sense of redemption, I see he's got a sparkle in his eye down on the stage with Yinsu beside him. Let's toss down to the interview.
Mitch, your eyesight is incredible. I don't know how you see that from up there, but that is right. I'm now joined by Shadow from Koi. First of all, Shadow, congratulations. Now, for those people that aren't familiar, you were one of the OGs. Those are your ex-teammates over there, and you never really had the opportunity to play against them after you left that roster. So how does it feel to be able to take them down on this stage?
I mean, first of all, thank you, and it feels amazing, to be honest. Like, the first team I had was FPX, or the first organization, and it just feels so amazing to win against them. What are your chances, I felt like, coming to this, that you felt like you could take them down? Because I think in the past, maybe even last year, if this was kind of the head-to-head, I think people would have maybe expected NAVI to come out on top. For me, like, all the games before as well, I thought we could win, and we just didn't perform the way we wanted, and now we finally kind of didn't have any pressure, and we performed like we should do.
And when it comes to Navi, as you know, they like to do weird things. Even back in your day, you guys were trying, experimenting a lot. And I think this year they didn't really do much of that. But today, of all days, they decided to bring out some weird, wacky, crazy compositions. So how did you guys deal with that on the fly?
Yeah, like we usually play against different comps on scrims, so we kind of used to it, but it was kind of, we didn't prepare for those comps from Navi, so it was, yeah, we just played like we did on scrims and it worked out.
Well, let's talk about that split real quick, because Astra on split in this meta is kind of weird but wonderful. So did you guys talk about it at all, maybe in a tap or so on, with Barber on how to deal with what they were doing?
I mean, I think Omen is just superior, especially when they play the double duelist comp. They cannot do really any aggressive moves, so it should be easy for us on attack, and we kind of showed that it was easy against Astra.
I have to also ask you, the Grabinho Sheriff, I think 3K, and then getting killed by the blast. What was your reaction?
I mean, it was just funny, you know. You cannot do anything about it. Like, he did some amazing shots, and then, it's unfortunate.
No, it was an incredible play. He's been hitting a lot of shots. Talk to me about Grabinho, because again, a player that I don't think many people expected to be this consistent.
No, I think he's an amazing player. I think he was gonna be here for a while, you know. He's gonna be like showing he can even be better than this for sure.
And lastly, we heard Mitch and Tom talk about this as well. It feels like the longer that you've been able to get your reps in and play on this stage, the better you guys have become. It's just a shame it feels like, you know, we haven't got that many games left. Do you feel the same, that it's because of the experience and the reps that's gotten you better and better?
Yeah, I think we started off the year kind of late, you know. We got Grooby Swatch from Trex already like early January. So it's just, we didn't have time, and now it feels a lot better for sure.
Actually, I trolled about the last question. This will be the last question, because I've just seen another one of your ex-teammates come onto stage. Magnum is going to be taking the stage next against Kiko as well. And this is going to be a hard one for you. Who are you backing?
I'm not sure. I hope for them both, you know.
Magnum's screaming at you over there.
I hope all of the 4 players are going to perform amazing at least.
Oh, and Mystic. I forgot about... And Enzo. Oh my God, I forgot them all. I forgot them. Okay, well, you've got more on this side. You're not going to back them?
I mean, I still need to back up Magnum somehow, so we just even out.
Oh, okay. Enzo, we'll talk later. Thank you very much, Shadow. Congratulations once again. As you heard the man, we got to one other crazy game coming up. It's going to be KC taking on Team Liquid right after this.
I know a place that will break you into 1,000 pieces. Stay away from them. Stay away from Lorca, Paco, and Picasso. Don't ask about Lola. I, Caballo Grande. I, Dolor de Nieve. But, in spite of everything, it occurs to you to visit Andalusia. Don't say I didn't warn you. Be careful of the Andalusian crush.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through Attack on Pearl. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle. You're going to be able to fight this.
Red Bull gives you wings.